CrossFit cyclist, and today I am super excited for two reasons. One, I am gonna get to do my first race of 2020, and two, I have not ridden my road bike for almost 6 months. So pretty much all through quarantine up until now has been entirely mountain biking and gravel riding. So this is gonna be pretty awesome to get back on my road bike. My race season is normally consisting of predominantly crits. So it'll be really nice to get back out there and ride my road bike. With that said, let's get it going. This time trial is put on by Laramie Bike Net. They're the local trail builders here. They also do a lot of youth programs. They put on some pretty awesome mountain bike races up here as well. Make sure that if you guys are riding up here, drop them a donation. I know it means a lot to them. Time trial's about 10 miles, mostly flat. I'm heading out pretty early in the morning just so that there's not much wind while we're doing it. The time to beat on this is, I think, about 23 minutes. All probably stuff that I should know before I go out and attempt a solo time trial. Time trial only being about 25 minutes max. At least that's what I'm shooting for. It's pretty much just gonna be one big FTP test. So my FTP is about 280. My very best is 285. So hopefully I'll be able to sustain that for the duration of it. So guys, we're here at the start line. Nothing fancy today, right? Just pretty much a frontage road that runs along the side of 287, but a race is a race, and I'm so happy to do one and really excited too. Start line is here at the mailboxes. We're gonna be going all the way down basically until the road stops, turns to dirt. 3, 2, 1, go. Perfect. So here we are, first race of 2020. The Soldier Springs time trial up in Laramie, Wyoming. By the title of the video, you can tell that we're going to be talking about some things that you should not do riding a solo time trial like this. Obviously, I made a few mistakes in riding this, and you know, with the current status of the world and really USA cycling and everything, I just wanted to shed some light and for my own sake as well, look back and reflect on some of the things that I definitely could have done better. So to start, I think I probably in total left a little over 2 minutes on the table in this time trial. And there's really, for the most part, three main reasons why. So as you can see here, the number one reason is, excitement and coming out of the start line hard. So my heart rate's already up in the mid 170s. That's a heart rate I would typically expect to see in like maybe the closing 5 laps of a criterium or something, not just coming straight off starting a time trial. You know, that's partially my own fault here. This is obviously being my first race of the season. I'm really excited. I really want to go out and go hard, and certainly haven't had had enough competition. So I'm riding super hard. My speed spiked up to a little over 26 miles an hour at one point. So now I'm just dialing that back a little bit and trying to get my pacing back, and also realizing that, you know, I'm in a dangerous spot right now. I have my heart rate up on my Garmin there and can see like, hey, I've already spiked my heart rate and it's not really coming back down. And we're only a mile into a 10-mile time trial here. I actually think it ended up being just over 8 miles. My next big mistake here, as you'll see in some of the footage, was not doing any sort of research or course reconnaissance. So even though this is a grassroots time trial, you know, being a competitive cyclist, I still want to do well. I still want to go out and, you know, see what I'm able to do in these conditions. But all I had come equipped with was just, you know, look at the segment on Strava and a little bit of information from the Facebook post that Laramie Bike Net had put up about this grassroots time trial. So I came into this not really knowing a whole lot about what traffic signals were going to be in place, not really knowing anything about where my turnaround was, aside from just the image that I had looked at on Google Street View. And you'll see here in, you know, a little bit that definitely plays a pretty big factor into the time I ended up with here. So, you know, I come up to a stop sign, for instance, where a truck is passing, and leave a ton of time on the table, not knowing which direction I needed to turn at that stop sign. Made the turn, picking my speed back up again, but as we will see again, this is not the end of my troubles. So you can see on the course map here in the center of the screen, it's a little bit of a windy country road, and all the houses around here kind of look the same. So it's very difficult for me to see, just again, 100% my own fault, where my turnaround actually is for this particular segment. So all I have is the picture of what this house looks like in my mind, and I know it's going to be, you know, off on the side of the road, but based on Google Street View, you know, I didn't even pay close enough attention to whether that's on the left or on the right. So I actually end up slowing down quite a bit in here, just trying to look to see, you know, what the houses on each side of the road are looking like, so that I don't just completely blow my turnaround point and end up going a lot further than I need to. So one of the pluses here, obviously slowing down through this section and now approaching this turnaround, recognizing this is where I needed to turn around, my heart rate's come down quite a bit. And so now I know that I can really get on the gas. So, you know, the back section of this time trial is, in my opinion, pretty, you know, 1,000 times better than the front half. I know the course now. I can't make any of those silly mistakes again. And I generally know, hey, this is pretty much all downhill from here. Now, if you've had a keen eye, obviously the percent grade is not changing very much in the overlay that I have. I'm not sure what was going on, if I used either the wrong data point in this overlay, or if the grade data in my Garmin was just flat out not correct. But coming through here, obviously able to ramp up to almost 30 miles an hour without a problem. Generally, I'm able to maintain that speed all the way to the finish, making up a lot of time that was lost in the front half. But, you know, had I ridden a clean front half of this time trial, I really do feel like I could have saved myself at least potentially almost two minutes going into this, just knowing the course, pacing this correctly, which I know is a very hard thing with time trials, but you know, there's no excuse for just coming out of the gates with all guns blazing. And you know, ultimately this time ended up being good enough for second place. So I wrapped up at 23:40 was the elapsed time on my Garmin. Moving time on Strava was something like 22:55, but you know, just being a good sport there, I am treating this at, you know, my official time as the elapsed time, not moving time in Strava. I'm not sure what computation is going on with Strava that created almost a minute of variance. But I'm going to fast forward a little bit through here for the end. But basically the second half of this time trial went pretty much flawless. Well, I missed the turnaround basically twice and cooked myself hard off of the start line. Probably hit like 95% max heart rate just right off the gun. Not being used to riding time trials. I haven't ridden a time trial for a very long time. But the computer says 23:40. I believe, if I check, that should be 4th or 5th on the leaderboards for Strava and first place for every time that was logged in this time trial. How I pulled that off blowing the turnaround, I have no idea. I literally came to a dead stop at the wrong spot and coasted the stop sign, not realizing there's a stop sign on this course. My fault 100%, not doing any recce or anything. Shit, we did it. First bike race of 2020.
Jared, you should have done your reconnaissance before the race.
Yeah, I know, Garth. Lesson learned, dude. Lesson learned.